Well, the former UKIP leader Nigel Farage says that Donald Trump has got a democratic mandate to enforce his executive order and confirms that he would like to see extreme vetting in the UK as well.
Trump's policy, in many ways, has been shaped by what Mrs. Merkel did. He is fully entitled to do this. And as far as we're concerned, in this country, yes, I would like to see extreme vetting.
Since 9/11, and including 9/11, can you name any terrorist event in the United States that has involved refugees who have been allowed into the country?
No, in fact, the terrorist events that have happened in America have been US citizens who've been radicalised whilst in America.
Not refugees?
No. But when you've got a problem already, why on earth would you wish to add to it? And I would remind you that of the 8 people that committed those atrocities in Paris, 5 of them had got into Europe posing as refugees. So,
yes.
so there is an issue here.
Nigel Farage, well, the Chief Secretary to the Treasury, David Gauke, described the ban as divisive. And he was also asked why Theresa May refused 3 times to address and condemn it at a news conference yesterday during her visit to Turkey.
Yeah, the Prime Minister is not a shoot-from-the-hip type of politician. She wants to see the evidence. She wants to understand precisely what the implications are. She'd been in a series of very lengthy meetings with President Erdogan, and she is someone who wants to see the briefing and understand it, and then will respond to that. And I think there are times where there's always pressure to respond within a news cycle and so on. The important thing is we are saying that we disagree with it and we do think it's wrong.
Meanwhile, the Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn has said that President Trump's state visit to the UK should be cancelled while the ban remains in place.
I think it would be totally wrong for him to be coming here while that situation is going on. I think he has to be challenged on this because it's a
So just to be clear, until that ban is lifted, you don't think he should come here?
I'm not happy about him coming here until that ban is lifted, quite honestly, because look at what's happening with those countries. How many more is it going to be? And what's going to be the long-term effect of this on the rest of the world?
Well, the Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson has just tweeted about this, and he says, "We will protect the rights and freedoms of UK nationals home and abroad. It's divisive and wrong to stigmatise because of nationality." A short while ago, our Middle East correspondent, Orla Guerin, told me about the reaction in the region to President Trump's executive order.
Well, we now have a statement from Egypt Air saying that they received official notification in the past few hours that they were to prevent visa holders from the 7 Muslim-majority countries from boarding flights to the US. Now, they did not have this official notification yesterday, but nonetheless, at least 7 passengers who were in transit through Egypt from both Iraq and Yemen were prevented from boarding flights. That happened because there is a standard system of pre-authorization. Every passenger listed on a flight to the US has to be approved. Yesterday, the airlines, Egypt Air, were told that certain passengers were not approved, and at least 7 were taken off the flights, or at least rerouted, I should say, back to their countries of origin. Now, we have managed to speak to one of those who was affected yesterday. This is an Iraqi gentleman. He was here in Cairo with his wife and with 3 children. The party of 5 were due to board a flight, an Egypt Air flight to the US. They had visas and they were stopped. Now, this gentleman has worked in the past in Iraq for a subcontractor that was used by USAID. He has told us his life was in danger at that time, that he and his family are all potential targets for terrorists, and he simply cannot understand how the US administration could take this decision.
And is it all visa holders? What about those with green cards, Orla?
Well, according to the information from Egypt Air, there are exceptions. They say that green card holders from the countries specified, Sudan, Yemen, Iraq, Iran, Syria, Somalia and Libya, will be allowed to board the flight, or their various flights, as well as diplomatic passport holders and government officials. So people in those narrow, defined categories should still be able to board their flights. But the gentleman that we spoke to just a short time ago made the point that he and his family had been through a rigorous 2-year-long vetting program. He said 1 entire year was spent on background checks of not only him, but his family, his friends, everybody that he was in contact with. He said, look, this suggests that Donald Trump does not trust his own officials, does not trust those that were involved in that process. He and his wife both gave up their jobs in anticipation of beginning a new life in the United States. They sold their car, their home, all of their furniture. They literally shut down their lives in Iraq. Today, they are now back in Iraq, having to rely on the generosity of family, having had to move in and live with relatives. And they say that Donald Trump has ruined their lives.
We're also hearing, Orlan, I don't know what you're hearing there about some reports saying that Iraq is saying that Americans should leave Iraq, so a form of retaliation, I'm assuming.
Well, this isn't an official statement from the Iraqi government, but what we are hearing are various reports saying that the influential Shia cleric Muqtada al-Sadr has made a statement. His comments are a little bit unclear. He's reported to have said something like, before you expel expatriates, take your own citizens out of these countries first. Now, the US is not currently expelling anyone, but there seems to be a suggestion there that he is saying that US citizens should have to leave the countries involved. He's quoted as describing Trump's decision as arrogant and condescending, but so far those comments, those reported comments, are coming only from him. We have not yet had a statement from the Iraqi authorities, although we are expecting a statement from the Iraqi Foreign Ministry. We also don't know how many people may have been affected today, how many more people should have been on that flight, the Egypt Air flight, and weren't allowed to board.
Orla Guerin there talking to me earlier. Now, you can find the key points of this travel ban explained on the BBC News website, bbc.co.uk/news.